Are you a Disney Lorcana player and wondering how to go from zero to hero? Well, I'm here chatting with some of the most elite Disney Lorcana players to share their zero to hero journey with you. My name is rebekahquests, and as I was thinking about my own journey with Disney Lorcana, I realized that we all have something in common. Every player was once a brand new trading card game player. We all start at zero. So what does that journey look like to go from zero to hero? I'm chatting with these players and asking each one the same 5 questions about their journey starting at zero and hearing a little bit of advice and encouragement for all those players out there who are on their own zero to hero journey. Thanks for joining me, and let's jump in with that interview. Hey Illumineers, I am so happy to be chatting right now with the team captain of Team Maelstrom, s4iler, who is also a Worlds Qualifier. How are you today, s4iler?
Oh, wonderful, wonderful. We're right in the preparation for the World Championship, and I'm just thrilled about it.
Well, I am so excited to chat with you today. As you know, we're talking about your zero to hero journey. You once were a brand new player to TCGs. We all start at zero. And so I wanted to chat with you about that journey. And my first question for you is, when was that day? How old were you? You don't have to give away your age if you don't want to, but when did you first pick up a trading card game?
It was back in 1994, 30 years ago,
Oh, wow.
31 years ago. I was 5 or 6. I can't remember exactly. It was a show and tell in first grade, and I brought like my a car, what it was. I can't remember exactly, but somebody brought their revised third edition starter deck from Magic the Gathering, and there was these minotaurs and goblins and dragons and all of those very beautifully illustrated cards, and I just got immediately hooked on it, and yeah, it never left me. It basically entered my life and never left, except for maybe a couple of years when I was older and I had other priorities. But yeah, I was very young the first time I touched a trading card game.
I love that. Show and tell. That's fantastic. So once you got to the age where you were really starting to play the game, and do you feel like there was a moment that you remember when things really just started to click for you? Like, and how long did that take?
Oh, many, many years. So I played casually with a friend. His older brother would always win, right? And obviously I was a competitive back then. I was playing video games as well. I always loved the competition of it. And so I always had a mind for those kind of things. But I have to say, I didn't start winning all that much before I moved to a bigger city when I was 20 years old. So it was much, much later. I moved to Montreal, and there was an awesome weekly game night at one of the local game store called linktr. Very, very well known within Montreal. It's similar to the Lorcana Leagues, right? But it was for Magic the Gathering. And I would say after weeks of playing against good players there, it's really where it started to click. I remember building a goblin deck in the format that was called Legacy, which is like the Infinity, right? Like where you can play all the cards. And some of them are banned, obviously, but you can play with all the ones that are not. And I was playing an aggro goblin deck, and I was doing fairly well with it. And eventually, where it really, really started to click is when I found out what was my style of deck, and that was a counterbalance synthesized divining top type of deck that was with blue and red, and it was and green a lot of the time, or white, but it was very control, right? I really started to enjoy that type of deck where you can have some tools to answer whatever the most powerful things that your opponent can do.
Yeah. Oh, that totally makes sense. Yeah, like finding your play style and really like locking into that. And do you remember your first big win? Like whether it was a tournament or like a competitor that you like finally were able to beat, or even just like a mental or emotional challenge that you overcame? Like, what do you feel like was your first big win?
I mean, it was a long time ago, and obviously it's more of a build up within these weekly nights, right? Eventually you're able to win against the better players there, and that always feels a very great confidence boost. But the one I remember the most is the bigger one is it was in Boston, so I had to travel to go to it, right? Like a 6 hour drive. It was a 5K organized by Star City Games in 2009. And I brought a deck that was called Canadian Threshold because I'm Quebecer, right? I'm from Canada, and I brought a deck that was like very much a reference to where I'm from, and it was known for having been built by a Canadian from Toronto. And I finished second at that tournament. It was a pretty big tournament, the one of the biggest that I did, and I remember one of my friends that I drove with also finished in top 8 at that tournament. I finished 12th, second, only losing in the final. And to this day, I I still sometimes type my name right in Google and type that event just to look through the deck list of that top 8. Right, for me, it's such an important milestone of going in another country and going for a competition and doing well and representing where I'm from. Like, I think this is really like a very big milestone for me in terms of like my TCG experience.
That's awesome. Obviously, you have a lot of experience playing other card games that you've brought with you to Disney Lorcana. And so for players out there who are just getting started with Disney Lorcana, and like if you were picking up Disney Lorcana as your first game, what would you tell like your younger self? Like something that you wish that you would have known about playing a trading card game like this, like sooner in your journey?
You don't get good by saying, I want to get good. Or from one day to the other, right? It took me years of mastering it. It's about mastering the odds, right? Of drawing into your cards, right? That you need to, of taking risk versus being conservative. And all those things are subtle, and you can only learn so much other than just by playing. And hard work, dedication, passion, commitment, right? You need to commit and be willing to make mistakes and learn from them and build up an experience, right? Don't think you can jump through those without actually going through that, right? Like we all went through those. We all went through losing and being sad about it, and what made us better is to go back to it the next day and learn from what we from the losses.
Yeah, that perseverance, man.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's hard when you're younger, but it also teach you a lot about life, right?
Last question is just, is there any other advice or encouragement that you would give to anyone out there who's just starting to dip their toes into competitive play with Disney Lorcana?
There's so much to say. If you commit to this passion, you'll surround yourself with people who share it with you. You'll get so much from it, right? Like long-lasting friendship, learning to focus, build up your mental endurance, building up a social life, right? Sportsmanship. But most importantly, you'll build confidence for yourself, right? Of like, okay, if I do it well and do it regularly and I put up the effort, I'm able to be good at something. And when you are young, it's easy to get let down by losses or judgment from others, specifically when having a passions that are outside of the mainstream,
Yes.
right? Like this is not hockey, this is not football, right? Like they're not showing us on the regular media, right? But as you grow old and you surround yourself with people who understand the value of a different lifestyle, all these judgments, right, and those losses, it will slide like water off of a duck's back, right? Like, it doesn't matter, because you can be recognized as someone who's a good person and or a good player, or both, right? To those people that share it with you, and build up that confidence, right? And that's what matters. And the final thing I want to say is that losing is just a stepping stone to build up a better version of yourself, right? So don't be afraid to lose, and to just get better at the game, one step at a time.
One step at a time. I love that. Thank you so much, s4iler, for chatting with me. I so appreciate hearing more about your story and the wonderful encouragement that you have for players out there. Before I let you go, can you please let everyone know where they can find you out there on the World Wide Web?
Yeah, you can find me on X at Lorcana_s4iler with a 4 and an E. You can find me on Metafy if you want to learn more about how to play the game. I'm offering coachings. I have a Discord server where I answer questions about deck buildings and play lines and stuff like that. And obviously, you can follow our team, Maelstrom, on YouTube, on Discord, or on X, Instagram, everywhere. And yeah, thanks for supporting, and thanks for being part of this awesome community.
Thank you so much. All right, that's it. 0 to Hero. See you next time. Thanks so much, everyone, for watching this 0 to Hero chat today. If you like what you saw, then make sure that you hit subscribe and like. Leave me a comment below. Let me know what other players out there you would like to hear me chat with to hear about their 0 to Hero journey. Thanks for watching, and happy questing!